These can't search.
King Harris ain't even know the cameras was on him. Sliding wild through the streets, he thought he was straight, laughing off the idea of getting searched like the cops had nothing on him. But reckless driving wasn't the only strike, because when they popped that car open, what they pulled out flipped the whole situation on its head. The traffic stop that changed everything. Them body cam clips tell a raw story 20-year-old King Harris probably wishes had never been caught. On that afternoon of October 14th, 2024, King, son of rap legend T.I., had no clue his wild driving was being filmed in HD, footage that later blew up online and reignited talk about his run-ins with the law. Around 2:50 p.m., King Harris, in a black BMW, tried a reckless left cut across 3 eastbound lanes, leaving a BP on Chamblee-Dunwoody Road in Dunwoody, Georgia, like he owned the whole damn road. The move was so wild it almost clipped a Dunwoody PD cruiser driven by Officer J.D. McBrayer, the same cop pulling out of that same gas station seconds earlier. What went down next became a defining chapter in King's troubled, headline-filled legal saga. Officer McBrayer, seeing the near miss, flipped on his lights and kicked off what turned into one of the most filmed traffic stops we've seen lately. Cops officially logged the offense as failure to yield when entering a roadway, a misdemeanor charge under Georgia state law. But nah, this wasn't no ordinary traffic stop. As Officer McBrayer stepped up to the car, things escalated past a simple ticket. The officer instantly caught a heavy scent of fresh weed coming out the BMW. Even more alarming, he peeped a black handgun tucked on King's left hip in plain view, a loaded Glock 19 that would become the focal point of the stop.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
There's some guns in here.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this.
King's response to the officer's approach was notably cooperative, a stark contrast to the reckless behavior that had initiated the stop. He promptly provided his driver's license and vehicle registration without argument, and when asked about the firearm, he confirmed it was his and legally owned, complete with a Georgia weapons carry license. Officer McBrayer safely removed the gun and placed it on the hood of the patrol car for safekeeping, with no charges filed related to the firearm since it was legally possessed. However, the routine records check through the Georgia Crime Information Center would reveal something far more serious than a simple traffic violation. An active Pickens County bench warrant for failure to appear was discovered, stemming from a 2022 incident that King had apparently forgotten about or chosen to ignore. The 2022 incident that would come back to haunt King was itself a story of poor judgment and legal negligence. On August 30th, 2022, when King was just 17 years old, he was arrested in Pickens County for speeding, knowingly driving on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. The charges were significant: speeding as a misdemeanor traffic violation and DUI for operating a vehicle while impaired by weed. During that 2022 stop, officers had noted visible signs of impairment in King consistent with drug influence and reported immediately smelling weed from his vehicle. Despite being released on bond shortly after the arrest, King failed to appear for multiple court dates, including a key hearing in September 2024. This led to a bench warrant being issued by Pickens County Superior Court on September 18, 2024, which remained active until his October arrest. Back in Dunwoody, as King sat in the back of the patrol car, the reality of his situation began to sink in. He was transported to DeKalb County Jail for booking around 3:30 p.m., and due to the warrant's origin in Pickens County, he was transferred there the following morning. The process was methodical and unforgiving, a stark reminder that outstanding warrants don't simply disappear with time. During the search incident to the arrest, officers made additional discoveries that would complicate King's situation further. 2 small bags containing a green leafy substance believed to be weed, totaling less than 1 ounce, were found in the BMW. King wasn't alone in the vehicle. 2 unidentified adult passengers were present, one of whom was cited for possession of less than 1 ounce of weed, while the second passenger received no citations. The personal context surrounding this arrest made it even more poignant. Just weeks earlier, King and his girlfriend, Janija Nana Epps, had hosted a lavish gender reveal and baby shower in Atlanta, celebrating their impending parenthood with themes around luxury cars and Atlanta Falcons colors. T.I. had publicly announced on Hot 107.9 radio in September 2024 that King was expecting his first child, a son.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me.
The irony wasn't lost on observers that just as King was preparing to become a father himself, he was making decisions that could have serious consequences for his ability to be present for his child. child. The baby, named King Harris Jr., would be born on October 31st, 2024, Halloween, about 2.5 weeks after the arrest. But King's legal troubles extend far beyond this single incident. The arrest footage that surfaced nearly 10 months later, in August 2025, would reignite conversations about a pattern of behavior that had concerned his family for years. The friendship between King Harris and Tootie Raw, son of rapper Boozy Badass, adds another layer of complexity to this narrative of legal troubles among the children of hip-hop royalty. Despite the well-documented beef between their fathers, King and Tootie have forged a bond rooted in their shared experiences as young rappers navigating fame, street life, and family expectations. Their relationship gained public attention around 2022, when they were both arrested together in Georgia on misdemeanor charges related to weed possession during a traffic stop. The parallel between King's troubles and those of his friend became even more stark in September 2025, when Tootie Raw was arrested in Atlanta following a dramatic foot chase with police in the city's Vine City neighborhood. The arrest, which occurred around 2 a.m., saw Tootie fleeing on foot after officers attempted a traffic stop on a vehicle he was a passenger in. During the search, authorities discovered multiple illegal firearms in his possession, including a Glock pistol equipped with an illegal switch device, a sawed-off shotgun, a rifle, and other modified weapons. King's response to his friend's arrest demonstrated the loyalty that has characterized their friendship. Hours after news broke of Tootie's arrest, King posted a heartfelt Instagram story writing, "I'm do my best to get you out, twin." He elaborated in a follow-up video, visibly emotional, expressing how the incident had been causing him pain and directly blaming controversial commentator Charleston White for allegedly tipping off police about Tootie's whereabouts.
Man, y'all bitch ass out here making it seem like I'm doing too much. My bro got arrested, talking about he coming back. Man, it ain't about that. I got shit going on, man, and that's just another one that I ain't trying to deal with. Like, what? Y'all stay the f about my business.
King posted a $2,500 bond in Pickens County Court and was released on October 15, 2024, with court records showing a new court date scheduled for November 2024 to address the original 2022 charges. However, as we would later learn, this would not be the end of King's legal troubles. It was merely another chapter in an ongoing story of poor decisions and missed opportunities for course correction. A pattern of chaos and controversy. King Harris's legal troubles represent just the tip of the iceberg in a life that has been marked by controversy, family drama, and a seemingly endless cycle of poor decision-making. The October 2024 arrest, while significant, was merely the latest episode in a series of incidents that have painted a picture of a young man struggling to find his identity while living in the shadow of his famous father. The drama surrounding King's personal life reached new heights in late 2024 with what can only be described as a perfect storm of controversy. In December 2024, rumors exploded on TikTok and X claiming that King was not the biological father of his newborn son, with allegations that T.I. had commissioned a DNA test post-birth which came back negative. The paternity rumors were particularly cruel given the timing, coming just weeks after King had celebrated becoming a father. King's sister Zonique fired back on X at the TikTok-sourced post, writing, "LOL, what street this word come off of Chile?" Her dismissive tone going viral as fans saw it as shading the rumors' absurdity. The family's response was swift and unified, with Tiny Harris addressing the rumors directly on social media, calling them false claims and defending her son. In a candid Instagram live with his girlfriend Janija, King shut down the paternity talk, declaring, "Everything the world say about me is a lie." He laughed off the idea of suing rumor mongers, noting they broke anyway. Janija chimed in by pointing out the baby's striking resemblance to King, joking about their same face, different hairstyles. But the paternity rumors were just one element in a broader pattern of controversy that has followed King throughout his young adult life. His feuds with other public figures have become legendary in their intensity and entertainment value. Perhaps none was more memorable than his 2024 beef with comedian Drewski over credit for popularizing the phrase "standing on business." The feud erupted in early February 2024 when King spotted promotional posts for Drewski's Atlanta video shoot for his single "Standing on Business" and saw it as theft of his momentum. King had aggressively claimed partial ownership of the phrase's mainstream explosion, tying it to his high-profile family fallout with T.I. in November 2023, where he had repeatedly declared, "I stand on business," during their viral altercation. The beef reached its peak when Drewski appeared on The Breakfast Club on February 26, 2024, and was asked about King's threats to pull up. Drewski quipped, "Hell nah," before adding, "But he cool though," to soften it as banter.
Who you more scared of?
You said, who am I more scared of?
Birdman or King?
Who?
King, T.I.'s son.
Oh, come on, man. King Harris.
Ooh, you standing on business.
He also revealed that King had shown up at his video shoot.
He said he's pulling up on you.
Nah, he did pull up on me at the video shoot. He had too much security out there, though. He did. Nah, he did pull up on me. Yeah, he did.
To the standing on business.
Yeah, he tried to do like a
Oh my God.
he tried to do a stare off. He got out his car and just stood on kind of like the top of the car like that and just, I said, man,
The car name was business.
all right.
King's response was nothing short of legendary in its brutality and creativity. In a nearly 3-minute Instagram video rant, King unleashed a barrage of brutal body shaming and accusatory insults. His most memorable lines included calling Drusky's physique wide-body Hellcat hips and saying he was built like a punch buggy with wheelchair legs. The creativity and rawness of his insults led Charlemagne the God to later praise it on The Breakfast Club, saying King might have a future in comedy.
Hey, Drewski, you and your cholesterols need to calm the down, nigga. You and them wide-body Hellcat hips need to calm the down. I can't believe this nigga tried to call me pussy in the interview. And I just seen him a couple weeks ago. We seen you run from a nigga. We seen you run from Birdman.
The entertainment value of King's feuds extends beyond just Drewski. His conflicts often showcase a young man who, despite his privileged background, possesses a sharp wit and an ability to craft memorable insults that resonate across social media. However, these same conflicts also reveal patterns of behavior that concern those who care about his well-being. The 2023 physical altercation between King and his parents at an Atlanta Falcons game represents perhaps the most dramatic example of the family tensions that have plagued the Harris household. The incident, which occurred on November 26, 2023, was captured live on King's Instagram stream and went viral, amassing millions of views. What began as a verbal dispute over King's claims of a tough upbringing escalated into a physical confrontation when T.I. put King in a headlock. The argument revealed deep-seated frustrations on both sides. King defended his hard-knock narrative against his parents' assertions of a silver spoon upbringing, claiming he had endured struggles like neighborhood fights. T.I. challenged this by asking pointed questions about real poverty, while Tiny added fuel by grabbing the phone and making comments about King's childhood habits that clearly embarrassed him. The physical escalation came when King appeared to shove or gesture aggressively toward Tiny, prompting T.I. to intervene by putting his son in a headlock and declaring,
"You are embarrassing yourself and the family. You embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself."
The confrontation, captured on live stream, showed the luxury suite setting, leather seats, Falcons memorabilia, with the game audible in the background, creating a surreal contrast between the opulent environment and the raw family drama unfolding. King's immediate response to the altercation was telling. Hours later, he posted and later deleted Instagram stories, venting his frustration. "I stand on business. Don't give a f who you are. I don't give a f who you are. Motherfucker can't play with me and my face not going for that. I'm a grown-ass man now." The pattern of family drama extends beyond just the highly publicized altercation. In September 2024, another viral confrontation unfolded that would further complicate King's relationship with his father. T.I. and Boosie Badass surprised their sons King and Tootie Raw during a music video shoot, confronting them about using real firearms as props. The intervention highlighted the father's concerns about their sons glorifying a thug lifestyle that they deemed both inauthentic and dangerous. King's defense of the music video incident revealed his continued struggle with authenticity versus image. On September 25, 2024, he addressed the backlash in an Instagram live clip, laughing off the drama while clarifying his stance.
I don't post. Y'all ain't never seen me post. Never in life. I don't even own it. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. This is for. I'm for entertainment purposes only.
He stressed that everything was props and planned, attempting to humanize himself while acknowledging his impending fatherhood as a motivating factor for better decisions. King's struggles with substance use have been another recurring theme throughout his controversies. T.I. has been vocal about King's patterns of substance abuse in social media posts, describing him as a good, kind-hearted guy when sober, but noting how these cycles have derailed his life despite repeated family interventions. But to truly understand why King's controversies keep spiraling, you have to look at the foundation he was built on, the turbulent legacies of his parents, T.I. and Tiny, whose own battles with the law and public opinion set the stage for the chaos their son now embodies. Legacy of controversy, the parents behind the headlines. Understanding King Harris's troubled trajectory requires examining the complex legacy of his parents, T.I. and Tiny Harris, whose own criminal histories, legal battles, and controversial decisions have undoubtedly shaped the environment in which their son came of age. The apple, as they say, doesn't fall far from the tree, and in the case of the Harris family, that tree has deep roots in both triumph and turbulence. T.I. has built his reputation not just as a successful rapper and entrepreneur, but also as someone who has repeatedly found himself on the wrong side of the law. His criminal record spans over 2 decades, with multiple multiple arrests, convictions, and probation violations that have shaped both his music and his family life. The pattern of legal troubles that we see in King's life eerily mirrors the challenges his father faced during his own rise to prominence. The most significant of T.S. legal troubles began in October 2007 when he was arrested hours before the BET Hip Hop Awards for possessing unregistered machine guns, silencers, and ammunition as a convicted felon. This wasn't a minor infraction. T.I. was facing serious federal weapons charges that could have ended his career and sent him to prison for years. He ultimately pleaded guilty in March 2008 to federal weapons charges and was sentenced to probation, 1,500 hours of community service, and a $100,000 fine, with sentencing deferred to allow for album promotion. But T.S. legal troubles didn't end there. In August 2010, he was arrested in Los Angeles for weed and ecstasy possession while on probation from his 2007 case, a violation that would have serious consequences. He was sentenced to 11 months in federal prison in October 2010, plus 3 years supervised release, serving time that kept him away from his family during crucial developmental years for his children. The pattern continued even as T.I. attempted to rebuild his life and career. In May 2018, he was arrested at New York's Governor's Ball Festival for carrying a gun without a permit, violating his probation terms yet again. This led to another criminal sentence in March 2019, 1 year and 1 day in prison, plus a $100,000 fine. He served time in Arkansas and was released in October 2019, but the impact on his family was undeniable. T.I. has been remarkably candid about how his legal troubles affected his children, particularly King. In a September 2025 Facebook post, T.I. revealed a traumatic incident from his past, a severe car wreck during one of his DUIs that involved a young King as a passenger. He described how the crash left lasting scars, both physical and emotional, on both of them, with King witnessing his father's vulnerability at a tender age. "That night haunts me," T.I. shared, explaining how the incident fueled his determination to get clean, but also planted seeds of generational trauma that he fears King is now repeating. The influence of T.S.'s criminal past on his parenting approach becomes clear when examining his public statements about King's behavior. T.I. has repeatedly emphasized providing a privileged life for his children to avoid the street hardships he faced growing up in Atlanta's Bankhead neighborhood. However, this very privilege has become a source of tension, with King feeling that his authenticity is questioned because he didn't experience the same struggles his father did. The irony is palpable. His success in creating a better life for his children has, in some ways, contributed to King's identity crisis. The young man struggles to find his place in a world where his father's street credibility was earned through genuine hardship, while King's attempts to claim similar authenticity are viewed as performative by both critics and his own father. Tiny Harris, while not having the extensive criminal record of her husband, has been deeply involved in controversies that have undoubtedly affected the family dynamic. The most damaging of these involve multiple women accusing T.I. and Tiny of orchestrating a sex cult-like operation involving drugging, coercion, and assault from the early 2000s to 2010s. These allegations, which surfaced publicly in 2021, led to an LAPD investigation, though no criminal charges were filed due to statute of limitations and evidentiary issues. The timeline of allegations against the couple is extensive and disturbing. Multiple women alleged encounters where they were invited to 410 inches parties, named after T.S. production company, given laced drinks with substances like ecstasy, and coerced into sexual acts. In January 2021, music executive Sabrina Peterson, a former friend, accused T.I. of physical abuse and threats on Instagram, including pistol whipping and forcing her to consume drugs, while claiming Tiny enabled the abuse. Between February and March 2021, additional women came forward detailing drugging and assaults in cities like Las Vegas and Miami, with attorney Tyrone Blackburn calling for investigations and labeling it methodical, sadistic abuse. The LAPD opened a criminal probe into some allegations, but closed it in September 2021 without charges, citing insufficient evidence. The most recent resurgence of these allegations occurred in July 2025, when Sabrina Peterson reignited her feud with the Harris family by leveling explosive new allegations of sex trafficking, forced drugging, coercion, and prostitution on social media. For the first time, King was directly implicated in these allegations, with Peterson sharing alleged private messages and claiming that victims were passed off to King and other family members. Peterson framed these as fresh civil matters backed by a victim's family, announcing plans to release sex trafficking receipts on July 19, 2025, though no such public release appears to have materialized. T.S. response to the July 2025 allegations was characteristically dismissive, posting an indirect video message saying, "It's a beautiful day to not be a buster, man. It's a beautiful day to not hate on nobody. It's a beautiful day, man, to mind your business. Don't be out here spreading propaganda just because you're unhappy with your life and yourself." Beyond criminal and civil legal troubles, the Harris family has been embroiled in other controversies that have shaped the environment in which King was raised. Perhaps Perhaps most telling is how T.I. quote, S approach to fatherhood has been shaped by his own experiences with the justice system. In interviews, T.I. has spoken openly about his determination to shield his children from the street life that led to his own legal troubles, but his methods have often been as controversial as they are well-intentioned. The cycle of legal troubles, family drama, and public scrutiny that has defined the Harris family experience creates a unique environment for child rearing. King has grown up watching his father navigate federal prison sentences, probation violations, and constant media attention around legal troubles. He's witnessed his parents defend themselves against serious criminal allegations while simultaneously building business empires and maintaining successful careers in entertainment. This environment helps explain King's own relationship with authority and legal consequences. Growing up in a household where federal agents might raid at any moment, where parents disappear to serve prison sentences, and where legal troubles are both devastating and survivable, creates a complex understanding of risk and consequence. King has learned that legal troubles don't necessarily end careers or destroy families. They can also become part of the narrative that builds authenticity and credibility. The influence of T.I. quote, S criminal record on his parenting philosophy is evident in his public statements about King's behavior. T.I. has repeatedly emphasized that King grew up privileged, in stark contrast to his own experiences with poverty and street life. However, this message seems to have had an unintended effect. Instead of making King grateful for his advantages, it has left him feeling inauthentic and searching for ways to prove his credibility. Tiny's role in this dynamic cannot be understated. While she has been supportive of King publicly, calling him a good damn boy and defending him against critics, she has also been involved in controversies that have brought additional scrutiny to the family. Her alleged involvement in the activities that led to the sexual assault and trafficking allegations has undoubtedly affected the family environment and King's understanding of appropriate boundaries and behavior.
Let me just say something about King. King don't with nobody. King do not with nobody. You gotta be with him for him to even react. He's not that person. So if you see him acting up like a damn fool, you done did something.
The pattern that emerges from examining the Harris family history is one of cycles. Cycles of success and failure, legal troubles and redemption, public triumph and private struggle. King's story is still being written, but the chapters so far suggest that he is following a familiar family pattern of making poor decisions, facing consequences, and attempting to learn from the experience. The question that remains is whether King can break this cycle, or if he is destined to repeat the patterns established by his parents. Only time will tell. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.